Hi, my name is Sean the Irishman, and I'm running for Congress in Montana.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around.
Hello there, my name is Sorgon of Accord, and I think you're only a 5 out of 10, so I wouldn't rape you. All you need is love, mate. Hey everyone, Irishman Rants here. And last video I did was my cover of Dreamweaver, but the video before that was my critique of what many people would call an SJW, when I just call him a cunt. But today we're going to be going back to me being an SJW type, because I'm going to be talking about a Republican. Ooh. Remember the good old days of scandals like Mondale, or was it Hart? One of the two. Where they had a boat with a hot woman on it, and that pretty much ended their political careers. Or remember the good old days where you have John Sanford have his political career ruined for going to Argentina to sleep with some Argentinian woman, Madonna, Eva Perón. Remember when a scandal could actually, like, hurt someone's political chances in, like, an election? Well, it seems those days are back.
Happy days are here again!
I don't know if that was offensive or just Ethel Merman. A guy by the name of Greg Gianforte. Okay, so a guy by the name of Greg Gianforte, he's running for Congress in Montana, because there's a seat open in Congress. So, you know, he's wanting to fill it. As I'm filming this right now, the election is actually going on. And he seemed to have a chance of winning, because, you know, we're in a very much Republican-minded atmosphere. The GOP controls both the House and Senate. His political opponent believes in healthcare for all, so of course he's a commie. You think that this guy would probably have a good chance with the election being today. Well, yesterday, breaking news, he body slammed a reporter. I know I'm laughing. That's terrible, but this actually happened. This guy body slammed a fucking reporter from The Guardian, a Ben Jacobs, who sounds familiar. So everything was going hunky-dory yesterday for Mr. Gianforte. Gianforte? Yeah, Gianforte. Yeah, made a mistake. Oops. Everything was going hunky-dory for Mr. Gianforte, until a tweet came to the interwebs where Ben Jacobs alleged that Greg Gianforte body slammed him and broke his glasses. I mean, other than sounding like Martha Plimpton from the Goonies.
Oh, God. They broke my glasses.
I mean, it seemed a bit odd that would happen, but then it was revealed that Mr. Gianforte left the scene of the crime before he was even able to speak his... because, you know, he was scheduled to speak alongside his opponent. But that didn't happen because he body slammed a guy. And many people, especially conservatives, thought that this was all fake. Or if it wasn't fake, then it's great because he's a liberal from The Guardian. Or, you know, we say that punching Nazis is bad because, you know, they just want to gas the Jews. It's only a different opinion.
It's Pepe.
That's gonna get me my ass handed to me out of context. But then The Guardian, they released the audio, and you know, there was also several testimonies from, and I mean testimonies from people like Alexis Levinson from BuzzFeed News, and surprisingly Fox News also said that they saw the incident take place. So that was weird. Like, a lot of people even pointed out that they were, for once, reporting negatively on Trump's poll numbers, saying that Jeff Sessions lied. So people were like, who has the keys to the kingdom today? I'm starting to think it's Roger Ailes' ghost trying to atone for his sins. Well, trying desperately not to grab a woman's ass. Now, we have the audio here, but, let's just try to find it first.
To the CBO score, because you know you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. And what you thought.
We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you
Okay,
can
speak with Shane, please.
But you don't. Just... Sick and tired of you guys.
I'm sick and tired of you guys! All these fucking flies around me! So Ben Jacobs went up to Gianforte. Apparently this was as Gianforte was about to go into a room to be interviewed by the local TV station. And he was like, okay, what's your position on healthcare? It's like, you know, I don't really need you guys' opinion. And then he says something about a guy named Shane. I guess he's wondering where Shane is. Come back, Shane! That's an old reference. Really, it seemed that the thing that upset him the most was uncomfortable questions! That was so Doug Walker of me to do. And so, with him being so fed up with the media and the reporters and the MSN liberal media, George Soros, pay me, you fucking shill, he instead decided that the best option was just to assume that he was a Nazi and try to buy check him. As I've said before, I've said this on Twitter when I was talking with a bunch of communists, or as they call themselves, Antifa. Violence is never the answer, except in, like, maybe war, or in very extreme cases otherwise. Violence, like, it's a very ugly thing. And being able to use your words to defeat someone is a lot, it's more fulfilling than just punching someone in the face. I mean, it feels good to punch someone in the face, but after a while you just kind of realize, yeah, that might not have been the best idea. You know, now that I'm charged with a misdemeanor assault. Let's continue with the audio.
Last time you came here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian? Yes, and you just broke my glasses. The last guy did the same damn thing. You just body slammed me and broke my glasses. Get the hell out of here.
Oh my god, like, mouth, you broke my glasses! By the way, speaking of Goonies, please forgive me, Corey Feldman. Please forgive Anthony Fantano as well. Corey! I'm just very excited right now for this just completely fucking amazing story. God. Let's play some more audio. This is like 12 seconds left.
If you'd like me to get the hot up here, I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names?
Hey, you gotta leave.
He just body slammed me.
You gotta leave.
That's great. It's like, oh yeah, he body slammed you? You gotta leave. It's not his fault that, you know, he body slammed you. He's a very, emotional guy, so, that should probably clear up some confusion. Despite the audio proof, the Gianforte, campaign decided to release a statement saying that he was provoked, that Ben Jacobs was just shoving things in his face, probably his liberal cock or whatever. And next thing you know, one thing led to another, and he ended up on the floor, sprawling, brawling with Mr. Ben Jacobs. It didn't really help, but I mean, a lot of the people who are probably going to support him either way, or just really want to see liberals be punched in the face, you know, your Mark Dices or your Mike Cernoviches, they were all behind him. And many people thought, oh, the election's tomorrow, this isn't really going to affect anyone, and we've already had the idiots come out of the woodworks by November 8th, so what's the point now? Well, now he has a misdemeanor charge. I read it this morning as I was filming this video. The guy is now faced with a misdemeanor charge. Let's see if I could find that. And the fact that he was like talking about The Guardian and how much he hated The Guardian, and how that's kind of one of the reasons why he decided to just kind of body slam him, was just kind of, I mean, it's despicable behavior. Like, just because you don't like the reporter or the establishment that he works for, just because of that, because maybe they did a bad piece on him, I think that's what many people are theorizing. But either way, it's just still gonna look bad because you're body slamming a reporter. And they found many other incidents where he was criticizing the media and talking about assaulting the media. Not like assault on the media like Opie and Anthony or anything, but just like literally just wringing his hands around the neck of a reporter. True story, he almost did that. But it says here, Brad Jaffe, another person that gets retweeted a lot, says Montana, Orlando Film Festival, what? Not now, Film Freeway. Gianforte cited for misdemeanor assault, 3 Montana newspapers pulled their endorsements. Like, as I said, this is like going back to the olden days when a political scandal actually affected you. Like, this is the sort of, like, nail in the coffin for, like, nowadays you get a guy, like, tweeting his dick out, like, millions of times, and he still gets a second chance, or a third chance, or a fourth chance, or a fifth chance. And now we actually have someone who's probably not going to get elected. And if he does get elected, then, you know, this video is probably wrong about there being effects of political scandals nowadays. Unless, of course, you're a woman, and you have no knowledge of how to use technology. And you've probably killed some people. Greg Gianforte, Ben Jacobs story. Like, I was originally going to do a story on that Uncle Remus guy, Ben Carson. But instead, I knew that this was probably the one I needed to go to, because this is some juicy shit. Like, a lot of my Twitter timeline is stuff about Raw, or WWE, and I don't watch WWE. Only a few days ago did I start watching highlight reels of The Rock, and I think John Cena. And also videos of The Rock and John Cena in the same video.
Oh, John, you can't be crying. John Cena shouldn't be crying. The Rock and all the millions and millions, we've seen your awful movies. You don't see us crying.
But I would totally pay cash money to see a reporter go in a cage match against, you know, like a congressman who really hates the media right now. It's so satisfying to see not only this person just become cartoonishly evil, because one thing I hate about people is that they don't realize what they did was wrong. Some people will admit that they're an asshole and be, you know, proud of it, which I mean, at least you're admitting to it. Like, I think I've said before to some friends who may have been misogynistic, like, at least you're honest about being a misogynist. Like, they actually said that they hate women. You know, because most people would say, I love women, but they need to stay in the kitchen, and completely deny that they're a misogynist. I think this guy automatically just says that he hates the media and would want to actually, like, hurt the media. And he goes through with it. So the sort of cartoonishly evil sort of aspect really makes the story satisfying to me. Because, you know what, this guy's gonna actually get his comeuppance. He's getting a misdemeanor assault charge right now. Oh my god. I think it's not gonna be too far off until we see reporters and congressmen on pay-per-view channels, and you see Ben Jacobs completely shirtless, just screaming into a microphone. Can you smell what the Guardian is cooking? It doesn't matter! I feel like there's something I missed. Yeah, the video's over.